Welcome to Ignorance Unleashed with your host Salvatore Cavalieri. Step into Salvatore's bold and unapologetic take on today's news and its impact on real estate. In just 10 minutes, enjoy no-nonsense insights with a dash of humor and absurdity. Approved by his psychiatrist and wife because they agree he needs this outlet.
Hey. So today we're going to talk about an article that just came up in the National Association of Realtors. And the title says, we're going to project that soon, renters feel less connected than homeowners. And the article gives very interesting statistics about it. A new Redfin survey found that 47% of renters feel a sense of belonging in the neighborhood compared to 64% of owners. So basically, renters do not feel connected where they live versus the owners, so it's 47 not connected to 60 something, 64 almost connected. This doesn't come as a surprise. Actually, I think this is not news to me, but what brings this to my attention is the following, is the amount of less interaction that we have with our neighbors, so a renter, is a renter. It typically, is renting for a specific period of time in a specific place for a specific purpose. So the renter doesn't really have much into it. Why to connect so much with a neighbor here and a neighbor there and a neighbor there, like used to be in the past? There is really no need, because now the society and the nature of our jobs, because the internet, this wonderful tool that we have, gives the flexibility for us to move in 1 month be in San Francisco and another month be in Seattle and another month be in Florida, and so on and so on. So why the connection? So I really don't understand, this statistic is very obvious. Anyway, but with that said, of course, I come from different cultures. My background is different, but I'm always being surprised at the amount of, even for homeowners, so being so disconnected, totally disconnected from the neighbors. For example, in the neighborhood that we live, the most we have said, or the most the other neighbor has been welcome to us, has been a hi and a bye. Cute dog is waving the tail, and then when the old dog died, they show us the new dog. That's it. That is it. So, if renters are not connected, I can understand that, but owners are not connected either. This lack of interaction between neighbors is so prevalent in our society throughout. Okay, I am talking here in the United States, but for example, if you go to Latin America, you are there. You know your neighbor very well, and very most likely kids go to the same school, and you go to the same activities. The same thing in Europe. You know who's your neighbor. Okay, so over here in the United States is different, because the population is always floating and moving. I think it changed the statistic, but I think people moved every 3 years. 5 to 7 years. They move from here to there. Homeowners I'm talking about. That is bad and good, actually. It is bad because nobody sets rules in any specific place. So when you talk to someone, where are you from? And you're in Florida, they tell you, I am from Ohio, I am from Wisconsin, I am from here, from there. And you ask them, where are you from, really? Well, I come from Ohio, like this weekend. I'm from Ohio, and, but I don't have the Florida things she mentioned. I don't know what she meant, but anyway, so this lack of rooting is not surprising, is not going to change, is not news actually to say much about it like it's surprising, okay? But I think the tendency I'm seeing it is to be less and less connected with your neighbor, which, may not be that good. Now, I can understand that some people want privacy and you don't want to deal with their neighbor, who maybe someone who has a different behavior that you have, and you're not very much in sync with that. Okay? So the flexibility of moving every 5-7 years that homeowners have is actually very good for the economy, because, if you're going to sell. If you're living here in Florida and you want to move to Georgia, you need to sell. If you sell, you're going to engage most likely a real estate agent. Okay, if you want to sell it on your own, good luck, But anyway, you're going to engage a real estate agent. And then you're going to buy something else in Georgia. You're going to engage another real estate agent. Guess what? You're going to pay commissions. You have to hire a truck to move. You have to pay a title company before that, here and there in the new location. So that moves the money around. Okay, inspections have to be done. Another set of things have to be done in order to go to that direction, the next thing. So that's actually very good for the economy. It moves the whole thing around. Now, in comparison, look at Latin America. You ask someone, for how long have you been living in the property? 50 years. I got this from my grandfather who liberated this country. So I look at that, and it really irritates me internally, because I'm saying, ma che cazzo fai? So what are you them doing in a place for so long? That means that you're not exposing yourself to any risks. Your ass is fat and plump, and you like to be in one place, and you're not enjoying life. And that's so common in Latin America. People living for generations in a property. And besides that, they don't even pay real estate taxes. It's called derecho de frentes, which means looking forward, looking to the front. Typically, the guy in the front doesn't pay taxes either, real estate. So it's kind of very weird. But here on November, we suffer when we pay real estate taxes, but we get something, okay? So for the people that complain about real estate taxes you pay, come on, shut up. There are roads, there are schools, there's benefit, there are tangible benefits. Go move to Latin America and pay for something that you will never get. Okay, so going back to this, people not belonging to a neighborhood, well, it's sad, but it moves the economy. You don't want to be like in Europe. You go there and you knock on the door, and it's the 5th, 7th generation. I think, Julius Caesar lived in that property 2,000 years ago, and the property is falling apart on the exterior. But the Italians keep it really nice, I have to say. But outside is falling apart. Don't touch it. Don't touch it, because if you touch it, Julius Caesar is going to come back from the death and he's going to slap your hand. Okay, so do we want really that? Do you really want that? I think it's better, the American system, in the way that things move and regenerate, because here comes the new family all excited. Oh, I got this new property. It is so nice. It's so beautiful. Okay, let's paint it. Let's change this. Let's change that. Well, let's put this tree and put in the other thing. Sometimes they spend money, yes, but it's their money. Have fun. Actually, by doing that, there are jobs, there are opportunities for other people. They are rejuvenating the neighborhood, okay? So in Latin America, you go to the same place, it's always the same thing. In Italy, it's always the same thing, okay? That's why in those countries, real estate does not appreciate that much, because the mobility, the changing of hands of real estate is very complicated. People don't spend the money. People don't see the value of it. So it goes up, sluggishly. You need to wait a bunch of years or stuff like that. And then you have multiple generations of the family living in the same property, and nothing gets sold, nothing gets moved on. I remember when my grandmother died in Italy, the apartment we had, it was in the family almost 80 years. And we sold it to my uncle, actually, who guess what he did? He moved in. Okay, so that was for 30 years ago, I guess, something like that. No, 20. So is that flexibility? Is that what we want? No. So I'm very, very grateful that this country has that flexibility in the movement of people. People go back and forth. Actually, it was amazing just to see one of the side benefits of the sad pandemic. It was the people started moving throughout the country. They were leaving those oppressive, socialist states that we have here in the United States, and they were coming down here, or other states that have more freedoms, stuff like that, and it was moving the economy. Okay? So it's interesting also culturally. And now this is a lesson now for the parents, especially for the Latin parents or the Hispanic parents, European parents that may be looking and listening to what I'm saying. They're so afraid, they live in this world of being afraid. So some of the kids are going to school. Well, actually, they're going to go to university, okay? And you ask them, where are they going to go? Oh, no, they're going to go right next to my house. Why? Well, because it's unsafe out there. You don't know how unsafe is out there. Oh, it's unsafe out there. I think the world has always been unsafe, but probably we have too much information right now, or maybe they are listening to the wrong information. I think just limiting your kids to be right next to you shows that your fears, you want to pass them to your kid. Okay? So have them, trust them with the opportunity also to be part of the American flexibility to move, live new experiences, and don't be stuck. So do not create the same mold you created for yourself, which is the insecurity to be tied to the same place. That insecurity you're passing to your kids. Have them make the choice. If they want to move to Seattle, go to Seattle. If they want to be right next to your home, well, okay, be there. Encourage them to explore, to go out of their way, to explore, to be uncomfortable. For example, me, over 30 years in the United States. Last time I counted, I think I moved more than 11 times. In my last location that I have here, it is Orlando, Florida. And I love it, by the way. Okay? So don't pass your fears of being stuck in the same place because you learned that back in Latin America that your grandma and the great-great-grandma have been living in the same hall for 50, 60, 70 years, and you want your kids to be doing the same thing, which is to be right next to you. The world is very wide. Kids nowadays are competing with kids from Asia, kids from Europe, kids from other parts of the world that we never thought about it. The world shrank, actually, didn't expand, shrank in the abilities of getting better jobs, better positions. So you need to compete. In order to compete, you need to expand and have that expanding mentality being passed to your kids. So right next to where you live, having your kids may be a very selfish decision that you made for you, for your own security.